Now we have the pleasure to have a phono to shed light on the growth that the Egyptian economy have witnessed recently in the year 2021 and the year 2022. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono, Dr. Zinab Nawar, Professor of Economy. Good afternoon, Dr. Nawar.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Nawar, despite the challenges that are facing the whole world, the growth rate here in Egypt is witnessing good or a very good standards until now. So we'd like to know your insight concerning Egypt's economy going on the right track, facing the challenges that the whole countries around the world are facing.
Yes, definitely. This growth rate that the economy or the Egyptian economy had achieved, it reflects the ability of the economy to deal with the crisis and also the resilience of the Egyptian economy in dealing with the situation. We still have some of the sectors are recovering and are working, and maybe others have been affected because of the crisis as a result of the war between Russia and Ukraine. But at the end of the day, what we can say, the package of reforms that has been done earlier in 2016 and go on, it played a great role in helping the Egyptian economy to deal with the crisis, starting by dealing with the corona, and now, unfortunately, the war between Russia and Ukraine. We still have the Egyptian private sector is playing a great role in dealing with the crisis, because we have now the Egyptian companies and the private sector especially is working in a good way. Of course, some of the private sectors have been affected by the leakage in the raw material because of the issue of the importation and all what happened related to some of the restrictions of the imported products. But again and once again, we do have a lot of manufacturers, a lot of private sector companies are working, and I think those who are contributing now in helping and dealing with the crisis that we are witnessing right now. At the time where the FDIs, of course, because of the crisis, the foreign direct investors, they will pull back because they will not be encouraged to invest anywhere because of this international crisis and this international war between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes, Dr. Nawar, you've just mentioned the economic reforms that started, or the package of directions and economic reforms that started in the year 2015. How do you see these economic reforms that was ready for any challenges, or predicting or able to face in case of any challenges? And it happened that the whole world have suffered from the pandemic, and also it happened that the war, the Russian-Ukrainian war.
Yes, unfortunately, in this time worldwide, we are facing what we can say it's a great crisis, great consequences of crisis, starting from the war and the trade war between U.S. and China, and then Corona, and then once again the war between Russia and Ukraine, and all of this debate about the NATO, when also we have USA at the background and the scene. So once we started these reforms in 2016, it was meant to have like some sort of resilience. A lot of reforms needed to be done for the Egyptian economy, so we can move on and we can achieve growth, and also to deal with the budget deficit and to deal with the problem of the foreign reserves and all of this. The country needed a lot of projects, especially in infrastructure, and a lot of reforms for the private sector to work, and also for the youth and for the small and medium enterprises also to expand. So all of these, actually, all of these reforms and all of this work, the country needed at that time.
Yes.
And of course, all what had done at that time helped a lot to sustain in this number of crises that the worldwide we are witnessing now.
Yes, Dr. Nawar, now the national income in Egypt depends on the Suez Canal and the tourism sector. Sorry. So, concerning the Suez Canal, the latest reports have said that the Suez Canal have witnessed this year or in last July high revenues from the Suez Canal. How do you see this?
Yes, this is good because actually have increased the fees and the freight rate, because this is very normal, because we have worldwide all the maritime agents and all the maritime lines, they had increased their fees, and they had maybe increased their fees maybe double or triple times. So we are in a time where there is, of course, because of what we have concerning the problems of the supply chains, and because once again, because of Corona and because of the war, so there are problems worldwide related to the transportation and maritime transportation specifically. So this is good from the Suez Canal to increase, and at least for the Suez Canal, and at least for the Egyptian government to benefit from this increase in this freight rate that the marine companies, maritime companies and maritime agents are taking.
Yes.
So I say this was a good decision from the Suez Canal Authority, and this of course enhanced and is one of the reasons why we had achieved an increase in the revenue for the Suez Canal Authority.
Yes, concerning the second national income for Egypt, the tourism sector. What's your opinion? The state we have witnessed recently, the state is opening new museums, the restorations work that are taking place everywhere in Egypt, in the tourism sites, in order to boost tourism in Egypt, which is the tourism is one of the important national income for Egypt.
Yes, of course, we have done lately a lot of important historical events, actually, in a lot of museums, and I traveled abroad this summer, and a lot of foreigners, they would like to come to Egypt. And we know that we have partially a problem that the tourists that used to come to us from Russia and Ukraine, of course, they are not able to come because of the crisis, but maybe we need to target different countries in Europe, and also we need to decrease the amount of visa, because for the foreigners to come to Egypt, there is a certain number for visa to be paid. We need to make it less and less, because a lot of countries worldwide, they made the amount for visa for entering their countries is at the very minimum scale. We need to do this, and also we need to give more offers, so there will be more opportunities for the foreigners to come, and also to increase the flow of tourists coming into our country.
Yes, of course, the state also is providing more facilities for tourists coming to visit Egypt. Dr. Nawar, what is your opinion concerning the report saying that the Egyptian economy have achieved its highest rates in 14 years despite the global crisis?
Yes, but my final, I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
Yes, that the Egyptian economy is reaching its highest rates this year since 14 years ago, despite the global threat, yes.
Yes, once again, it's because of the reforms that we had worked on, and once again, because it reflects the resilience of the Egyptian economy, and also it reflects the ability of our economy to sustain and to deal with any crisis. And we still have a lot of capacities, and we still have a lot of resources that we need also to use. So, hello?
Yes? Yes, Dr.
Sorry,
Nawar.
Yes, there's something connections. all that had been said about the Egyptian economy and all of the rumors that had been said, unfortunately, in what I can say, unofficial TVs and channels and all of this about the Egyptian economy and about that we are in a trouble. All of this is not right because we are talking about Egypt. We're talking about solid a country with history and with culture and also with economy with a huge potential. We started to work from 2016 and go on, and we still are going to work for more and more for our country and also for the future generation.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So
Dr. Nawar, now the cabinet have described the Egyptian economy as one of the strongest emerging economies. So could you give us your insight concerning this and explaining what is emerging economies?
Emerging economies, the word means that these are the set of countries that are moving from being a poor into like a stage which is emerging and maybe will have the potential to be a developed country later on. So emerging means that these countries have opportunities. These countries have a lot of reforms and policies that can lead us later on to be one of the developed economies, and this is what we are hoping our country to be.
Yes.
So emerging economies also, there are some classifications related to the income per person and also income per capita. There are numbers that would put us in this classification, but we are emerging for this because we have a lot of potential and there are a lot of reforms and also there are a growing number of our GDP growth.
Yes. Dr. Nawar, now also the reports by the Council of Ministers indicated a decrease in the unemployment in Egypt. So what's your opinion concerning this?
Yes, this is good, and this is as a result of the what we can say that it's the construction sector. A lot of companies are working now in this construction sector and they're building new cities that we do have, and we have a lot of private companies working as subcontractors for these companies. And also, it is also reflecting what I told you at the beginning, that it is the Egyptian private sector which is handling and which is supporting the Egyptian economy for this time and during this crisis. So this is good, and the more we will do reforms, the more that we can be able to deal with an employment problem.
Yes, of course, Dr. Nawar. Also, the state is establishing hundreds and hundreds of national mega projects around Egypt, and also these mega projects are providing job opportunities, of course. I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Zinab Nawar, economic expert, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.